Hello everyone, this is Samir from QNRF. We have just started the webinar for DIFI-QNRF Osra program. So in this webinar, we will be first covering the business rules and presentation, and then I'll take you all through a demo of the actual proposal submission through our Q Grants application channel. And I hope you are familiar with the interface of the webinar. You will see a small hand sign against your name. If you have a question, you can click on that, but we will be having the question answer session at the end of the presentation. So keep your questions until the end of the presentation, and then we will be answering all the questions if time allows. So let's get started. I'll hand over the mic to my colleague, Dr. Sadim. Sadim, you can go ahead now.
Hi, good evening. This is Sadim Jawhar from Qatar National Research Fund. I'm a program officer, and thank you for joining us for this webinar about the Osra Research Grant, which in its first cycle, and this grant is under DIFI-QNRF Joint Funding Research Program. I'll be giving this presentation today with my colleague Ms. Sultana Afdal from Doha International Family Institute, and then we'll have a live demo for the application website by Mr. Samir. We'll introduce Osra Grant to you, and then we'll speak about the aims and the research areas, followed by the grant application process and the project deliverables and the key dates. I'll be giving the presentation, we'll give the presentation in English, but you'll notice that the slides are both in English and Arabic. And if you would like to ask any question in Arabic, we'll be happy to answer you in Arabic as well. So let's start. Osra Research Grant is an initiative that is jointly funded between Doha International Family Institute and Qatar National Research Fund. And the title Osra actually suits the name of the grant very well, because its focus is solely on research that is about Arab family and family policy related issues. I'll give the mic now to my colleague Sultana to speak about the aims and the research areas.
Sultana, now you are the presenter.
Hello everybody. I'll quickly go through the aims and the research areas of the Osra grant. The aims and the research areas, primarily if we look at the aims of the Osra grant, it is to develop research areas in support of the Qatar National Research Strategy, in support of the QNRF mission, and also to support innovative and high quality research initiatives that advance knowledge in the areas of family issues. It is also to provide policy makers with evidence-based research and analysis that supports the design and implementation of new or more effective family-related policies and programs, and it will aid to develop a network of research expertise, and also to develop research capacity on issues related to the Arab family in Qatar and the Arab region. The outputs of the grant, we hope, would be publications in peer-reviewed journals, policy papers, methodological tools, databases, and or literature reviews. The research areas of the grants, primarily 4 themes, would be parenting in the Arab world, marriage in the Arab world, family laws and practices in the Arab world, and family/work balance in the Arab world. I'll expand a little on those 4 areas. Marriage in the Arab world would generally to generate research on health and stability of marriage in the Arab world by analyzing societal, cultural, and other factors that shape contemporary marriages, and also to identify strategies, policies, and programs that could increase marital quality and well-being. The second research area, which is parenting in the Arab world, would provide insight into parenting styles in Arab families and endeavor to understand the dynamics of the parent-child relationship, highlight the development of evidence-based parenting policies and programs that support parents raising children in contemporary Arab societies. The third research area would look at family-work balance in the Arab world. It would investigate the status of family-work balance in the Arab world by assessing the effectiveness and extent of existing national policies in support of working parents. It would also evaluate the impact of and constraints of these policies in caring for the elderly or children, and with respect to the advancement of gender equity in Arab families and societies. It would also ultimately present evidence and policy recommendations for the development of national family policies that seek to reconcile family work to provide parents with support in the workplace, for example, family-friendly workplaces. The fourth research area would be family laws and practices in the Arab world. It would primarily review the impact of existing family laws and practices and assess if they meet the needs of contemporary societies, strengthen family stability, and promote gender equity. The review should also evaluate constraints and practices of family courts in Arab countries and ultimately provide evidence for the reform of family laws and practices in Arab countries. Now, I'm handing this presentation back to Dr. Sadim, who will go over the scope of the grant.
Sadim, now you are the presenter.
Yes. So let us speak about the scope of the grant. Osra Research Grant gives awards that reach up to $50,000 US for projects that are up to 1 year. And there is a possibility for a 6 months extension, unpaid extensions, if there is a proper justification. For sure, this grant is given on a competitive basis for the most competent and most innovative ideas that undergo a peer review process. We have three possible compositions for the collaborative teams that participate in the Osra Research Grant. The first one is teams that are located and based in Qatar only. The second composition can be teams which are based in Arabic countries. And for this, we have a list of the 22 Arabic countries. You can find it in the appendix and the call for proposal, which is available online. The team also can be based in Qatar and in Arabic countries. The last possible composition is teams who are in Qatar and or Arabic countries, but they have collaboration with non-Arab countries. And for this composition, we have certain criteria that we speak about in the coming slides. This leads us to speak about the eligibility. So the eligibility for the countries and institutions. Only applicants residing in Qatar and the Arabic countries are allowed to apply. For institutions that are based in Qatar, only institutions that are have approved research offices from QNRF are eligible to apply and submit proposals. However, research institutions in Qatar can always apply through the application channel. There are certain steps and procedures to follow. For Arab countries-based institutions, only academic research institutions are eligible to submit proposals. The institution of the lead principal investigator, the lead PI from Qatar, will be considered or called a submitting institution, while institution for lead PIs who are from Arab countries will be called international submitting institution. In this case, when the Arab countries are submitting the proposal, DIFI will act as the grant proposal administrator and will have the vetting, will handle the vetting and also the other research office responsibilities. Regarding the participants, the project must be led by a lead PI, lead principal investigator. He's the one who submits the research proposal on behalf of the collaborating team. The lead principal investigator must hold a PhD or any of the approved terminal degrees. We have also a list of the terminal degrees that we mean here. You'll find it in the appendix at the end of the call for proposal. Also, he must have at least 3 peer-reviewed scientific publications in relevant research areas. The lead PI from Qatar must be employed by a QNRF approved institution, as we said earlier, and he must be residing in Qatar for the duration of the project that is awarded. Lead PIs from Arab countries outside Qatar are eligible to apply if they are affiliated to academic research institution in the Arab world and they are residing in any of the Arab countries. We have certain requirements that you will see later on when we speak about the application process that to verify the residency of the PIs and PIs. For collaboration with researchers from outside Qatar and outside the Arabic countries, here at least 50% of the proposed funded research days and 65% of the budget must be conducted and spent inside Qatar and or the Arab countries. So not more than 50% of the time, more than 35% of the budget can be spent outside Qatar or the Arabic countries. The lead principal investigator or lead PI may collaborate with multiple investigators, and these will be called principal investigators, PIs. The principal investigator must also hold a PhD or any of the approved terminal degrees. Each lead PI and PI are eligible to submit and participate in only one research proposal for the Osra research grant. Regarding the research team, it may consist of postdoctoral scholars, graduate students, research associates, research assistants, undergraduate students. All of these are considered research team members. And they are eligible to participate in only one, proposal in this call for proposal. For the Osra research grant, the consultants are not allowed to participate and they cannot be paid from the budget. Also, authorized research office representative and other members of the research office are not eligible to participate as team members in the proposed project. So let us speak about the application process. As I said, Samir will show us the demonstration about the application process later on. I'm just going to speak about the main requirements and the main information here. Both the lead PI and the PI must register with QNRF on our channel. If the lead PI and PI have previously registered, they do not have to re-register again, but they need to update their profile and CV as applicable if anything have changed. As we said, one of the eligibility criteria for the lead PI is to have 3 publications, so he's required to upload a minimum of 3 of his or her peer-reviewed scientific publications in order to be able to submit a proposal. Both lead PI and all PIs are required to upload their IDs, which include or highlight their country of residence, whether in Qatar, in the Arabic countries, or outside the Arab countries. I'm going to speak here about some of the key components of the application process and the research proposal. There are many other components, but maybe these are the most important ones. First is the proposal summary, which is like a brief summary or description of the research project. It speaks about the background, the aims, generally the methodology that's going to be followed, the results and the outputs expected, and so on. Also, the lead principal investigator must indicate the personnel or the research team who's going to do the tasks in this research project. For example, he has to enter the names of his principal investigator. He can do this by entering their emails. As I said earlier, they must be registered on the system. So by putting their email, the system is going to pull their information, and then they will receive an invitation to participate, and they must accept the invitation in order for the lead principal investigator to be able to continue submitting his or finish submitting his proposal. He also have to enter the other team member under unnamed category. There's also the research plan, and for the research plan we have templates available online. For the Arabic research plan, these templates have to be filled and submitted as Word format. If you want to submit a research plan in English, it has to be filled and submitted as a PDF format. The research plan has certain sections, so you should not add any new sections. However, you can add subsections. You should not be deleting any of the sections. Also, the research plan should not exceed 20 pages, excluding the cover page, the table of contents, and the references. Also, no changes in the font or the size of the font should be made. The other important point is the timeline and tasks, and here we speak about the project duration, the objectives of the project, the tasks that should be done to accomplish these objectives, and also the personnel assigned to each task. We have the budget, and the budget is also have 5 different categories, including direct costs, miscellaneous costs, travel, and personnel. And these have certain rules which you can find in our call for proposal. You have to fill all these categories, and as you see, each category depends on the other, so it's better to fill them in sequence. Last but not least, we have the ethical compliance, and here the lead principal investigator must indicate if his research includes human subjects. This is important for us to make sure that the research is done appropriately and it's safe for the subject and it's following the right laws and regulations of the country where the research is being done. Let us speak about the screening and the evaluation criteria. So after the proposal is being submitted and vetted by the research office, it goes through the screening process, followed by a scientific review, then a programmatic review, and finally it comes to a funding recommendation. And the screening step, we look at the proposal to make sure that it does not have any of the disqualification reasons. And these are, for example, not meeting any of the eligibility criteria, either for the lead principal investigator or his institution or country, deviating from the research plan template section outline, as I said, changing the font, adding sections, removing sections, exceeding the number of the pages required for the research plan, also uploading incorrect documents like an image, for example, instead of a publication, a research plan in a wrong place, and so on. Non-compliance with the research areas, the 4 areas that my colleague Sultana have just spoken about in the beginning. Also, we screen and check for against plagiarism, that the project is not copied, not duplicated, and so on. The outcome of the screening process will be announced in July, and if the project passes the screening process, it goes into a scientific review process. And here 3 international peer reviews will be solicited to go through the proposal, give it scores, give it recommendation, either fund, not fund, reduce budget, and also give a summary feedback for the lead principal investigator. There are 4 main points that the peer reviewer look at in the scientific review process. The first one is the literature review, and here we mean, for example, how comprehensive is the literature review, how recent it is, how relevant to the topic, how innovative are is the hypothesis based on the literature review. The second point is the originality and the methodology, and here we mean how new and innovative is the research question, how does the tools and the methodology used suits the question that is being answered and the project itself. We have also the anticipated results and the policy implications. So here it means the effect of the outcomes on the research discipline. How would it affect the policies and the family situation? Also, how would it lead to developing human capacity in these research areas, and so on and so forth. The last point is the resources, and we mean the resources that are available at the submitting institution or the collaborative institution, or the resources that are going to be available. Also, another point under resources is the personnel. How qualified are they to do the project? Do they have a previous experience in terms of publications? Is the task given to them appropriate or not? And the last point under resources is the budget that is requested. How appropriate is it to the proposal and the needs of the proposal? So scientifically meritorious project will go to the other level, which is the programmatic review. This step is designed to have a wider scope of assessment in terms of the potential impacts on the Arab families, alignment with research areas objectives, also alignment with DIFI and QNRF goals, if possible the past performance of the applicants, also other research investments in this area. So here we just aim to give a comprehensive look at the proposal and to give a balanced and fair review for all the projects. Then the second step would be that the proposals will go through a ranking process, and then they're categorized in terms of their competitiveness based on the outcome of the scientific and the programmatic review. After that, QNRF will agree jointly with DIFI on the selection of the finalists. Hopefully in September, the awardees will be announced. So let's assume that your project have been past the screening and the evaluation and is awarded, and then all the required documents and the funding agreement is signed. Then you're doing the project. What is expected as a deliverables from you? First is the progress report. So after 6 months from performing your project, you're expected to submit a progress report through the online channel. There's a certain application form that must be filled, and then it's going to be vetted by your research office. And then the research office is also going to fill a report about the financial and spending during the progress report time, these 6 months. You have also to indicate if there have been any manuscripts, any document that resulted from your research during these 6 months. Within 1 month, the lead PI will be notified about the results of submitting his progress report if it complies with the Osra Research Grant policies or not. In addition to that, there are the final reports, and here we have 2 kinds of reports. The final report, the first one, which speaks about the research in general that the lead principal investigator has done, and he has also to use the templates that are available online, and then his report is going to be vetted. He has also to include presentation about the project itself with a summary slide summarizing the main aspects and the main outputs, and also include any publication or any document that resulted from the project. This is one of the reports. I need to mention here that the lead principal investigator might be invited to give a presentation about his project, he or any of his team. The second type of the final reports is the financial report. This is also has to be submitted based on the templates that are available online and has to be vetted by the research office. So also within 1 month from the submission of these reports, the lead PI will be notified about the outcome of the report's review. Last but not least, there is the public report, and this is general. This is also have to be submitted after finishing the project. This is a report that is written in for the public in a more simple way, highlighting the outcomes and the results of the project itself. It should not include any confidential information, any data that might affect the intellectual property or might affect if submitting any manuscript or so on. So that's all about the project deliverables. Let us speak about some important key dates. As we said, the lead principal investigator and the principal investigator must be registered, and this is always open. The proposal submission opened on 16th of March. And once the proposal is completely submitted, directly the research office of the submitting institution can start vetting it. On the 25th of May, 12 noon Doha time, the proposal submission will be closed. And 2 weeks after that, on 8th of June, 12 noon Doha time, the research office vetting will be closed. Then the project will undergo the screening process, and the ineligible proposal notification will be announced in July 2015. And then the successful proposal notifications and awards announcement will be done in September 2015. That's all. I want to thank you for joining us in this part. If you want to know more information about the Osra research grant, you can find the call for proposal, or you can find it in Arabic and English on our website, as you can see here in the link. If you have any question, you can always submit a ticket and we'll answer you in a timely manner. Also, if you have a question about the research areas, and also if an international submitting institution would like to submit through DIFI as a grant proposal administrator, you can use this email to submit tickets. So now Samir is going to speak to us about the application process. Samir, the mic is yours.
Thank you, Sadim. Now I'll start the demo of the application. Hello everyone. This is the website address where all our application is handled through online. The address is https://oss.qnrfsubmission.org. So as you have noticed, this is different from the QNRF website itself, which is qnrf.org. So we have a separate application channel where we collect all the applications and do all the proposal related activities. So once you go to this application, you will see the login page, and if you have already registered with us, if you have an email address and password with us, you just need to log in using those IDs. You don't need to have a separate registration for Osra. But if you are new to QNRF and if you are getting associated for the first time with QNRF, you need to click on this new account button, which is at the lower right corner, and then fill in this very simple form. So you will have to select your role. You will be basically a participant, and then if you have an ORCID ID, which is like a unique ID for the researchers, you can click on this link to know more about ORCID. Then you can provide that ID, and then we will get all your name and details from ORCID. Otherwise, you can provide your name, email, confirm them, and then provide a password. So it's a very simple registration step, and then the system will send you an email with a confirmation, and then you will have to activate that email link to make sure that the email is valid. So once you have done your registration, I'll take you to the demo site. You will come to the application again and then log in using your email and password. So this is the dashboard of the application. We call it Q Grants OSS. This is the online submission channel. where all our funding programs are managed. So once you log in, you will see the dashboard where if you have any notification or any other details regarding your ongoing projects, it will be displayed in the dashboard. So to start an Osra proposal registration, you will go to Proposals menu and then Start Proposal. As you can see, there are many other menus available in the system, and another one you will be going to will be the Profile menu. So if you have not updated your CV or your contact information, you can go here to the Profile menu and then click on various side menu like Update Your CV, which is just uploading a PDF file, or any of your contact information if they are not up to date. So to start a proposal for Osra, you will go to Proposals and then Start Proposal submenu. So this is the Start Proposal page where you will see a list of available programs with their deadlines. And if you are eligible for any of those programs, you will see a Start Proposal Registration link against that proposal. So here we have Osra 1, which is the first cycle of Osra, which is starting at 16th and ending on 25th May. So you'll click on the Start Proposal Registration. This is the initial page where you will provide us the registration details of the proposal. You'll provide a title for the proposal, provide some summary. Remember, all this information you can edit later on. So, but we suggest you give a meaningful title at least, so we will know what you are working on. And then you can type in your keywords. Once you start typing, it will the system will provide you with a list of available keywords. If your keyword is one among this, you can pick one of that, or you can type your own. I'll just put some sample values. And then you say what kind of research it is. And then you need to choose which research focus. And another thing, if you have any question on any of these fields and what they are meant, you can always go to our QNRF website, and under the funding programs, there is Osra, a dedicated page for Osra. Where you will see, besides the deadline and details of the program, you will also see a section called Download Center. So here is the place where you will download the call for proposal, which has most of the business requirement details. And then there is another one called Research Grant Application Guide. This has a very detailed step-by-step instructions on how to work on this application channel. So at any time, if you have any question, you should be first referring to that. And I'll also tell you how to submit a ticket. Like if you still have a technical issue, you can submit a support ticket, where you will go to the support menu, and then there will be a link where you can submit a support ticket, which our engineers will be working on. So you provide research focus and then provide some justification, and then choose your research specialty. So these are like the major top level groups of research area: medical and health sciences, social sciences, and humanities. So if your research fall into one of these categories, you can expand by clicking on this plus signs, and then select a primary research area and a secondary one, and then you need to click on this complete selection button, which will mark these are selected. And then you say the Qatar National Research Strategy pillars. You can select one of them, expand by clicking the plus sign, and then select one as primary and another as secondary, and then complete the selection. And here is another field where you will input the justification for the QNRF compliance. And this is the place if you have any questions to QNRF or comments to QNRF. For example, if you don't want some particular peer reviewers to review your proposal, you can let QNRF know their names. And once all the data is filled in, you will click on the register proposal button. So after the proposal is registered, you will get a unique proposal ID number. This is called Osra 10402, some numbers here. So this is the unique number. So if you are communicating with QNRF regarding your proposal, you should always refer this number to us. After that, you complete the registration. If you want, you can log out and then come back and start with proposal preparation, or you can directly proceed to proposal preparation. So this is the proposal preparation channel. You will see that on your left side there are many sub-menus. So these are different sections of the proposal you will be filling in to complete the proposal. And each page will have a heading and then some text in green color which will provide you an overview of what this page is meant for. So please make sure that you read them first and then continue with adding the data into that page. So the first page is an overview page where we give you some tips on how to prepare your proposal properly. We suggest that you keep all your data in a separate Word document ready, and then once everything is done, you can come online and then start inputting it by copy pasting the data from the Word document. So this way you will not lose any data if there is anything wrong with the network connection or the system, and you can always refer back to your original document if something is gone wrong. So this is the proposal overview, like the date and time stamp of when you registered and the initial data you provided. And the next tab is proposal summary. Again, this is the information you provided during the registration. But you will see that on your left side menu there is a warning icon. That means this section is not yet complete. So still you need to fill some more details here. You need to come and click on this edit button, and then this is a new field here, benefit to Qatar and or the Arab region. So you put the data here and then click on save. And once you move out, this section will become green. So that means this section is already completed. So this way, whenever you go to one section, make sure that it is completed by looking at this indicator icon. So this is the research focus which you selected during registration. If you want to change it, you can change it here and click on save button. So most of the pages are designed in this style, and this is the QNRS which you again selected during registration. You can edit and then change, and then these are the institutions tab. Excuse me. You will see that whoever logged in, that person's institute will be called as a submitting institute if it is from Qatar. Otherwise, DIFI will act as the grant research grant administrator. And if you are collaborating with any other institutes, you can always add those institutes here. So you will say add more collaborative institutions. You click on yes, and then you choose the country. And then you choose the institute, and then you need to have a supporting letter, and then you upload that supporting letter here. This is another section where you add team members to your proposal. So you will be already added as the lead principal investigator. And if you want to add more people, you click on add new button. You choose what kind of persons you want to add. You can add key investigators or like an unnamed person, which is like a graduate student, research assistant, or postdoc fellow. And then you choose their role, which is only the principal investigator, and then you provide their email. So remember, if you want to add any person to this proposal, you need to make sure that that person is already registered with QNRF. And after they have completed their registration, they will provide you the email ID they used for the registration, and you just input that details here. I'll get a sample here. So you can provide an email address. You click on the load participant details. So it will say that this participant is coming from a different institute, which is not yet added to the collaborative institute. So you need to, like, if you are adding a participant from another institute, you need to make sure that that institute is first added as a collaborative institute. We'll move on. This is another section, research plan. As you know, there is a specific template. You need to download that template from the QNRF this place, research plan template. And then once all the data is filled in, you can upload it as a PDF here. And note that I'll just show you how the PDF file works. You need to make sure that the file is a valid file. So if you see a red icon here, that means the file was uploaded correctly. Once the file is uploaded, you can click on save, and then it will add to the system. Then we have timeline and task. So you can mention how long this project is going to be. The maximum is 12 months, so you can choose, say, 8 months. And then you keep adding the objectives of the proposal. And under each objective, you can add a task. So basically, you break down your proposal into different objectives and tasks. And each task you will specify at what month it will start and at what month it will finish. And once a task is added, you need to assign participants. Like you already have added some team members to your proposal. You need to tell the system like who will be working on which task. So right now we have only one user. Year is always the first year, and then you will say how long he will work, how many days, and what is his cost per day. Everything is in US dollars. So this is how you go and add more task and then more people to the task, and then how many days each person will work on each task. After that, you can move on to budget. Budget has different categories like equipment, personnel, travel, miscellaneous, indirect. And then there are some business rules which you need to make sure that everything is completely met. So if you click on this view budget checklist, you will see that there are 6 different rules. The total amount should be less than 50,000 US dollars. And then all the other rules like the 35% should be within Qatar or Arab countries. So the system will check based on how you prepare your budget. So if you want to add an equipment, for example, you click on the equipment tab, add new, and then you say what kind of things you want to buy. So you say, and which institution it is applicable. The year is going to be 1 because it's a 1-year project, and you will then say how many you need. what is the unit price, and you need to provide a justification on why this is required. Because it's a capital equipment, the cost need to be higher than 5,000. So the system will validate all the business rules. So we'll just test it with this value. So that gets added to the equipment budget. Same way, the personal budget, we already have added what each person will work on and what is their cost. You can continue adding more. And then if you have any travel associated with your proposal, you can add that here. And then there is miscellaneous cost. Everything works the same way, but the miscellaneous and indirect, you will always have a entry here. So you just need to put it down here. And then there is indirect cost. You put in the percentage of the total direct cost. So right now, whatever the total direct cost, you can specify the percentage and then system will calculate the indirect cost. And after you work on your budget, you can go here and then check that all the rules are complete or not. So now you will see that the total annual miscellaneous budget should be less than 5%, but it's already high because we didn't enter any of the other budget categories. We entered just the equipment and personnel, and then we had a higher value in the miscellaneous. So that's why it's showing more than 5. It's now 6.29%. So if you see like this, you go back, go to the section, and then adjust the value. So now it's 200, and if you go back again to the checklist, you will see that now it's okay. The percentage is only 1%. So that's how you work on the budget. But as I said earlier, you will be having all your data in an Excel sheet or a Word document initially before coming online, and then make sure that all the business rules are completely observed. And then you can come online and then things will be much easier. This is another section where you will input the resources available at your institute. I'm just putting some sample dummy data. So every page it goes like this, and here there is publications. You need to always read the tips given here. This will give you an idea of what is expected from this particular page. And then if there are more information that you need to do, there will be another section in a brown color background. So here you are supposed to add publications from your team members. You can add a minimum of 2 or a maximum of 3. And all the available publications of the team members will be listed here. So if you have added a publication as part of your profile, it will get listed here. And any relevant publication relevant to this particular proposal, Osra proposal, you can come here and then click on add. So you can add a maximum of 3. And then that part is done. Then there is ethical compliance. If your research is related to human subjects or hazardous materials, you need to comply the ethical compliance protocols. So you can say yes, and then what exactly are you doing, like social and behavioral research, yes, and then you can select which year, which institute it is applicable. So everything else is no. And you save it. And if any of your team members have applied for have received any other grants, ongoing or any previous up to last 3 years, you need to mention the details here. You select the team member, enter the details of the grant, enter the period, and enter the amount, and provide the abstract and the outcome of that particular proposal. And then there is a potential IP. if your proposal results in any potential IP, you can mark it here. If it is yes, you will have to provide some comment. Otherwise, if it is no, you can just click on no. And at any time, you can, if you go to the submit proposal section, the last section, it will summarize all your proposal like this, showing whether each section is completed or not. You can see that the personnel is incomplete because the team member has not yet uploaded their national ID. So that is one of the business requirement for this Osra program. So if you go to your profile and then upload your national ID, update ID documents. I'm just giving some sample data. And at any time, if you are logging out and then coming back, you come back to here, proposal preparation. You will see your proposal here. You click on this. So you will be taken back to your proposal. So here, if you look at the personal section, now it is marked as completed. So this part is already done. Now we have to complete export control and risk and mitigation. So you go to export control section. Like if your proposal includes any content that require export control restrictions, you need to click on yes and then provide an explanation. And then another section is risk and mitigation. There is a detailed instruction on what is expected from this field, so you can follow that and then provide the answers. And if you have any other documents you think that would be appropriate to add and that will help the reviewers better understand your proposal, you can add it here. So there is no limit. You can add as many number of proposal as files as you want, but you need to give a meaningful title so that people reviewing your proposal will know what that file contains. And finally, there is a declaration section. Again, there is a long text which we expect from you regarding originality, plagiarism, and other standards. You need to read through that, and then finally you need to click on this I agree button and then click on save. So that completes the proposal preparation, and the final review and print page will provide you all the data you have entered in a single page, which you can scroll down and then verify and then make sure that all the data is complete. So this is the budget section we entered. We didn't enter much data, but whatever entered is here. And finally the declaration. So this is the and there is a printer friendly page, so you can click on that and then print it out if you would prefer that way. And then before submitting, make sure that everything is done properly. And then finally go to the submit proposal page. Now you will see that all these sections are done and this button is enabled. So you can click here. Again, this will ask for a confirmation. So if you say yes, the proposal will be submitted. You will be taken back to the dashboard and you will get a notification here saying that this has been successfully submitted. So that completes the process. I see that many people have already asked questions, so I think it's time we open the floor for questions. Sadim, would you like to add anything at this time?
No, thank you. Thank you very much, Samir, for this nice demo for the website. I think we're ready now to take questions in Arabic or in English.
Okay, let me see the questions I have seen. Let me check. There are 10 people already have their hands raised. So I'll give the control to the first person, which is Iman. Iman Mahmood.
Can you? Okay.
Okay. So Iman, if you have a mic, can you please ask your question? I think Iman is not responding. So let's go to the next person, available person, which is Lognathan. Lognathan. Hello. Hello. If you can, if you have a mic, you can.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, we can hear you. Is this Mr. Lognathan?
Yeah. I have been applied last for the QNRF. So just I want to recollect what we have done. It's very good. I recollect myself, and it is helpful for what I have been lacking in filling. No other questions for me.
Okay. Thank you. So we'll move to the next person. Kirti S. Prabhu. Hello, Kirti. If you have a mic, please ask your question. Hello. Again, she's not responding. Hello.
Samir, can they type their questions?
Yeah, they can. So let me see if they are typing their questions. So. Okay. So I think if people are not comfortable asking the questions, let's go the typing way. There is one question. Can private research centers apply for the research grants?
Can you repeat the question, please?
The question is from Abdusalam Sharaf. Can private research centers apply for this research grants?
So here, like what we said, if the institution is inside Qatar, it has to be registered with Qatar National Research Fund, and there are certain institutions which are already registered now. Any new institution can apply to register at any time. Institutions outside the Qatar, in the Arabic countries, it has to be an academic research institution, and this has to be verified. So it cannot be a private center, it has to be an academic research institution.
The next question from Jason Hickory. Do all of the publications uploaded to support the application have to be from the LEPI, or can we select publication from the other PIs as well? Yes. Yeah. Salim, you can
answer that. Or shall I? Okay, yeah. I will answer it. Yeah. So the eligibility criteria for the lead principal investigator to be able to submit a proposal, he had to submit at least 3 publications relevant to the Osra research grant in which he's an author of on this proposal. He has to be an author on this proposal. Later on in the steps during the proposal preparation that you have showed Samir, he has to upload publications, minimum of 2, maximum of 3, and there it can be either from him or any one of the research team, the principal investigator.
Okay, we'll move to the next question. Can Arab medical, the questions are coming up a lot. I think we'll move from the top to bottom. Professor, can you see the questions now, Salim?
No.
Okay. Can I apply for the research grant? I'm residing outside Qatar and work in country outside Qatar.
So if he is in Arabic countries, in the list 22 Arabic countries that we have them in the list, if he's affiliated to academic research institution, if he has a PhD or any of the terminal degrees, and if he has the appropriate publication, yes, he can. So he does not have to be from Qatar. If he's residing outside the Arabic countries, he cannot be a lead principal investigator, but he can be a member in the research team for sure.
Okay. The next question, are the linguistics researchers acceptable?
I may pass this linguistic researchers. This is related to the research areas. I may pass this question to Sultana. Maybe she can tell us more.
I think it's important to understand the research areas. I don't think that we've ever specified what type of researchers we do and do not accept. We're going to look at the fact that they have publications, but obviously if he's a linguistic researcher, the likelihood that he would have publications in social sciences would be fairly small. However, if he does, and this is his area of interest, the fact that he is a researcher would make him applicable. So basically, if he adheres to the themes of the research, I can't see any reason why we wouldn't accept him.
Okay, next question. There are some questions in Arabic which I cannot read, so. No, but that person has already left, so it's okay.
Okay.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
I don't know. I cannot see the questions.
Okay.
بعضهم يدفعون بعضهم لا.
Nora Vyas is asking, can a psychiatrist be the lead PI alongside a PI who is from the US or UK?
So can a psychiatrist be a lead PI along with?
Alongside a PI who is from US or UK?
So if he is residing in Qatar or the Arabic country, yes, and the answer here is similar to the answer to the question before. If his research interest is in the areas relevant to the Osra research grant and he has the relevant publications, he can apply.
Okay.
But he has to be from Qatar or the Arabic countries.
Mm-hmm. There is another question from Tariq Sadiq. Are the presented topics eligible for funding, or can other original topics be considered?
Okay, I think I'll answer this question. Now, I think if you look at the 4 themes of the grant and the fact that we've called it Osra, which does mean family in Arabic, we have kind of constrained it to these 4 themes, but I think it's limited by your imagination, basically, because really, if you look at the 4 themes, they can be they can form a nexus to many subjects that pertain to the Arab world, and any of the problems that we experience as Arab families in this part of the region, which can be contemporary. We have specified contemporary. I know a lot of people think that we haven't included social media and all the other constraints and problems and challenges of the modern world. But I think the word contemporary highlights the fact that we are open to anything that provides a link to the family. Now, if the subject doesn't link in any way to the Arab family and has no basis for assessment or research in that area, I don't think that it would be pertinent. Again, I stress that we have put 4 themes. But if you look at the themes carefully, they actually encompass almost everything that a family would experience in the modern age. And that would, even if you formed it as a comparative study to past and modern age, that would work as well.
Okay, the next question. Hi Samir, when the PI prepares the budget, the 10% allowable indirect cost will be calculated automatically within the system online. This is from Fazana. No, the system will not calculate the indirect cost automatically because the 10% is the maximum allowed. So if you want to use it just 5%, you can enter that 5%. So you need to enter how much percentage you want as an indirect cost. The next question, if the Doha Institute would be participating in the proposal. This is from Haider Messer.
No, our job is solely to vet the proposal and make sure that it adheres to the stipulated framework and the rules for submission. That's only our role. We don't help in any other way. No.
Okay. The next question, what is the total budget for the call? I think we already mentioned it. It's 50,000 US dollars. Yeah.
Yes.
And is it possible for experts to register as reviewer? Always yes, but it depends on the program managers to choose which peer reviewers will be assigned to which programs and everything. So all the experts can always come to the QNRF website and register as a reviewer. We will have an approval process, and then the program managers will decide on who will get assigned to which proposals. And then, Sadim, would you like to add?
No, I think I'm fine at this.
I think I have a question here where it says, can there be two lead PIs?
You can see the questions now, yeah.
Okay. The one I'm having on the mouse?
Yeah, this can be there two lead PI? No, it has to be only one.
Yeah. Let me see. The team from the Arabic country, are they? If the team are from Arabic country but they are living in UK, any chance to get a grant?
No, they have to be residing in the Arabic countries.
Yeah.
But they can be collaborate like as a PIs, or they can. So they have to be the submitting person, the lead PI. He has to be living in an Arabic country or in Qatar. But the team, the principal investigator, the collaborator, they can be residing outside of the Arabic countries.
Okay, and another question from Jason. I am interested in looking at caregiving in families of people with mental illness. This doesn't strictly fall within the 4 themes, but could apply to both marriage and parenting. Can you tell me if this may be eligible for review?
I can say that it could. If you could link that to the effect that it has on a marriage, the constraints that it causes parents, even if you could link it to how their parenting time is constrained by care of the elderly. As I said, it's really limited by your imagination. There is always going to be a link to marriage, to family, and the elderly. We've actually specified elderly in one of the themes, so yes.
Okay.
If he writes a proposal with that link, it would be eligible.
Okay, and another question from Zubair Aslam, how many years possible for total time? That's 1 year. Mm-hmm. Okay, and then Jason Hickey, do all of the publications upload, I think we answered this, do all of the publications uploaded to support the application have to be from the LEAPI? No need, any of the team members can associate their publications to the proposal. Another question from Anwar, if we have projects that help deaf, hard of hearing and elderly people to make their life safer and easier, are we eligible to apply?
Is that going to be in the context of how it's going to help the family? And what are the constraints that it applies on the family? Again, if it connects in any way to the effects that it has on the family, then I think it would be, otherwise no. I don't think it would work.
Okay. Zubair asked another question. Do you provide a collaborator or we have to search?
No, you have to search. On our, maybe Samir can also add to this, where they can find some information about possible collaboration on QNRF website, usually, but you have to provide your collaboration.
Yeah, I think you can always indicate in your profile or somewhere, I think, where you can say that you are actively looking for collaboration. But again, yeah, it's up to you to find.
You have to fill it. Yes, you have to fill it and indicate your collaboration.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have a question here. It says, is it necessary to submit a questionnaire, if any, in both English and Arabic during proposal submission? Or once granted sanctuary, can we submit questionnaire? If I'm understanding this question correctly, I think they're asking if do they have to jump through all the hoops to actually do the submission, or can they do it later? I think that I think Samir made it very clear that there are stages and you have to adhere to all of them.
Yeah.
And you don't have to do it in both English and Arabic. obviously choose one of them, and that's fine. That's why we've given people the choice.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, if they mean research plan, I think here. I think they mean research plan.
Yeah.
I guess they mean research plan.
Yeah, yeah. The research plan we indicate whether it's Arabic or English. Yeah. Even otherwise, all the text data they can input in either Arabic or English.
Mm-hmm.
They can, and I think, as you've made it quite clear, there is a process, and if they follow through that process, they will successfully submit.
That's right. The next question said, can Arab medical research labs apply for research grant?
Again, this also has the same answer as the previous question. If the project and the research area would fit and comply with the 4 areas that we have mentioned, would link to them to the Arab family in any way, then yes. And also if they fall within the eligibility criteria that we've just mentioned. If it's a pure medical research, with no link to the family research, I don't think it
Yes, I think that would be quite difficult to justify that type of research.
Another question from Amanda. Is this webinar recorded to listen to again? Yes, this is getting recorded, and we will be uploading it in our QNRF YouTube channel later on. Next question. Can the research publication that the LEPI touch on the main themes of the Osra research can, but not directly assessing what is being proposed?
Could you repeat the question, please? I'm sorry.
Can the research publications that the LEPI just touch on the main themes of the Osra research grant, but not directly assessing what is being proposed?
No, that should be fine. So he has to submit 3 relevant to the Osra research grant, and he has also to include 2 to 3 during the proposal preparation. The research publication that he lists in his profile and his application will be also looked at and screened to make sure that it fits within the Osra research grant themes.
David Shu, how would you recommend me to go about connecting to a strong Qatar group?
I think Google is king, basically. Almost everybody is online. It shouldn't be very difficult to find. And to be quite truthful, if something is credible, you'll probably find it online. I don't think that he'll find I think basically if you were looking at academic institutes, would probably be the first place that you would look, and there are so many in Qatar. So that would probably be the first place to look. But I would say here that if people have questions like this and they feel like they need a little bit more guidance, please email me on DIFI grants, and I'm happy to provide any help with that within Qatar that I can. Beyond Qatar, I think it's really the onus is upon you to find collaborative partners within the region.
Okay, next question. Consider the university does not have a doctoral degree researcher, has 3 research grant for the title. His question is that we can bring doctor from outside the university from another university to participate with us and be the principal investigator, and we aids the researchers through university.
So if you get somebody from outside the university, so the lead principal investigator, the one who submits this proposal, he has to be affiliated to your university. And later on, we actually, in the pre-funding stage, after you get awarded, we ask for an endorsement letter, a letter from your university saying that this principal investigator somehow, or this project is endorsed by this university. So he has to be affiliated. And the team, there can be principal investigator who also need to have PhD degree or any one of the terminal degree. In addition, there can be also research team. These do not need to have terminal degree, but the principal lead PI has to be, his institution is the submitting institution. He cannot be somebody from outside the submitting institution.
Another question, if the proposal is covering Arab non-GCC countries, is that a problem?
No, this is not a problem.
No.
It can be any of the Arabic countries.
Okay. One from Simon. Could we be sent copies of your presentations? It would be very helpful.
If you go to the DIFI website and you look at the information on the Osra grant, you will find a link to this presentation.
Okay.
The initial presentation.
Okay.
And it's also on the YouTube will be available on the QNRF YouTube channel.
Yeah. Do you know how many projects will be funded? That's one question.
This depends on the quality of
Yes,
the product.
Okay.
Most definitely. I think it's dictated by the quality of
Yes.
of the proposals that we receive.
Okay, another question. I understood from the webinar that the research should be conducted partly in the Arab world. I was wondering whether there is room within this grant to do research among Arabs or Muslims in the West.
So it can be conducted in Qatar and or the Arabic countries, as we said, and it can it can include also some research aspects about Arabs and outside the Arabic countries, but it should not exceed the 65%, 50% that we have mentioned in the eligibility criteria. I'd leave also this question to Sultana to elaborate more.
I think if you're asking about the research days, yes, Sadim has amply answered that question. If you're talking about, if the subject is, are you looking at Arabs and their situation in Western countries, I think it would work if you did it as a comparative study. I don't think it would be exclusively about Arab families in the Western world, because we are hoping to broaden the horizons in the Arab region in terms of research. I think a comparative study between the Arab region here and families and the Western world, Arab families, would work well.
Okay, another question. If an outside qualified institution applies, does that limit the percentage of involvement from each institution? For example, some institutions require 50% and so on.
Can you repeat the question, Samir? I cannot.
If an outside qualified institution applies, does that limit the percentage of involvement from each institution? For example, some institutions require 50% and so on. I think this is what you just explained. You can have collaboration from outside, but you should do the 35% minimum within
yes.
the Arab countries, right? Yeah. 65% percentage within Arab countries. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
So it
doesn't. There is no problem if there is more than one institution or one institution, as long as it's within this 65-35
yes.
Limit.
Yeah, and the effort is on 50-50.
50-50. Yes.
Yes. So yeah, it does limit. Like you cannot have more than 50% of work
yes.
done outside. I have a question. If a private individual can create a research team, I am residing outside Qatar and my counterpart is working in Qatar, would that be possible?
If a private organization, as we said, if a
private individual.
A private individual, no, cannot. It has to be through an institution. As we said earlier, if he's from Qatar, it has to be registered with QNRF. If he's residing in one of the Arabic countries, it has to be academic research institution. So it cannot be a private person by himself or a private company.
Can Arab medical research laboratories apply? I think we already answered this.
I think we have already addressed that.
And could you explain more about family and health research?
I'm afraid we can't. I didn't understand the question. What does he mean, family and health research?
Yeah, I think it's a very broad.
Does he mean the health of the family? Or is this a medical question, or does he mean the health of a family?
The question is not very elaborate. Yeah.
Yeah, he might want to rewrite that question, and would be happy to answer it.
Yeah. Are family decisions on international education for young Arab men and women a relevant topic?
Could you repeat the question, please?
Are family decisions on international education for young Arab men and women a relevant topic?
Yes, if you could tie that into how it impacts the family, how it impacts the youth, because we have put parenting as a pertinent subject. So yes, I think that if you could tie it in with that, I think it is a pertinent subject.
Okay. Let's see. I'm skipping the questions which are not complete or which are in Arabic. Most of my research papers that are relevant to the Osra grant are forthcoming publications but not yet published. So I'm unable to upload them as publications. Where can I enter these?
Samir, is it possible to link for us to hear the Arabic questions, because they're just as important as the English ones?
No, actually they can ask you also direct questions, right? You were receiving some questions.
Yeah.
Yes, if you could do that with the Arabic ones, we would love to hear those.
Yeah, but I don't know if I can transfer the existing question, but yeah, I can. So I'll assign to Sultana. Can you see that question now?
No, I can't see it. Salim, can you see it?
No, I can't.
Okay, let me assign.
But I mean, could you try to connect with them, and we would be
I can
happy
see it not right now. I can see it.
Okay.
So we have a question that says أنا أكاديمي مع دكتوراه من العراق، ممكن أن يشاركني معهد الدوحة في العمل لكون المقترح سيتضمن دراسة مقارنة بين المجتمعين العراقي والقطري. دكتور حيدر مصر يعقوب. Shall I repeat the question? He's asking أنا أكاديمي مع دكتوراه من العراق، ممكن أن يشاركني معهد الدوحة الدولي في العمل لكون المقترح سيتضمن دراسة مقارنة بين المجتمعين العراقي والقطري. دكتور حيدر مصر. معهد الدوحة الدولي سيقوم فقط بدور يشابه دور مكتب الأبحاث التابع لهذه المؤسسة، وسيقوم بتقييم البحث عندما تقوم بتقديمه. هذا هو يعني دور معهد الدوحة الدولي في هذه المنحة سيكون.
I'll move on.
Could you, Samir, can you find us any, send us some more Arabic questions, please?
Okay.
I just saw a
Arabic,
question.
I should say.
Yeah, there's one here. Yeah, Sadim.
Let me see if I can see it. Okay, 1 second. I need to. طالب دكتوراه جامعة الشباب. كنا نتمنى شروط البحث تتيح الدراسات أن تكون عابرة للتخصصات، فلا تخفي مثلا أهمية الجانب الاقتصادي في موضوع المنحة البحثية. أيضا كنا نتمنى أن تترك للفرق بعد قبول موضع بحثها أن تجد الفرصة عبركم لإثراء فرقتها من الباحثين وطلبة الدراسات العليا بما يوافق توجه الفرقة، كما كأن تمنح مثلا الفرق صفحات على الموقع بفترة قصيرة يتم من خلالها استقبال سير ذاتية لمهتمين بالموضوع. بالنسبة لهالسؤال، الجانب نحن قلنا أنه مجالات الأبحاث ليست محصورة بمجالات معينة، ممكن تشمل أي ناحية اقتصادية أو غيرها، أو حتى عن السوشيال ميديا طالما هي تتحدث عن الأسرة وهذه المجالات الأربعة من أي زاوية، ما عم نكون محصورين هون. بالنسبة لحرية اختيار فريق البحث، إذا كنت فهمت السؤال صح، فنحن نترك لكم الحرية لاختيار أعضاء فريق البحث، لكن لا يمكننا أن نضع على الموقع تاعنا أسماء أو استقبال السير الذاتية لكم. هذه تقوم على عاتق الباحث الرئيسي الأول أن يكون فريقه البحثي وأن يعده جيدا. في سؤال هناك سؤال there is another question. سؤال آخر: هل يحق لمختبر الأبحاث بالمغرب المشاركة علما أن الكل متواجد بالمغرب؟ نعم، يمكن للباحثين الرئيسيين الأوائل أو الليد برنسبل انفستيجيتور أن يكونوا من الدول العربية طالما هي مؤسسة بحثية علمية. يمكن أن يشارك. هاي أجبنا عنها. هل أستطيع التكلم بالعربية؟ ما بعرف شو قصد الأخ سليمان الحسنات، بس بعتقد قصده هل يستطيع تقديم بحث باللغة العربية؟ نعم، يستطيع تقديم خطة البحث باللغة العربية. ويقوم بأداء بحثه باللغة العربية. نعم، لكن الموقع والابليكيشن بروسيس، الموقع الذي تحدث عنه الأخ سمير، كل شيء فيه رح يكون بالإنجليزي، بس بالتأكيد يمكن أن يقوم بتحميل خطة البحث والأشياء الأخرى باللغة العربية.
Can I move on? Sadim? Hello?
إذا كانت مؤسسة مقدمة للمقترح، مرة أخرى يعني الليد برنسبل انفستيجيتور أو الباحث الرئيسي الأول، submitting institution، المؤسسة المقدمة للمقترح خارج قطر، يجب أن تكون مؤسسة بحث أكاديمي، ولكن يمكنه أن يشارك كcollaborative institution أو مؤسسات متعاونة مع المؤسسة المقدمة للمقترح، يمكنها أن تكون شركة خاصة. ليس لدينا هنا أي ضوابط في هذا المجال.
Sadim, can you hear me?
We'd like to say here, because we only have a few more minutes to go, that please do keep the questions coming. You can always email us any questions and we'll be happy to answer them.
And
I think we are, Samir, are you with us? Are we done?
yeah. No, there are many more questions, so I think we will prepare a Q&A page. That would be better, yes, I guess, because it will take time to filter through these questions and find out which are valid questions. So I think it will be a better idea to have a Q&A page and then upload it into our website later on.
Okay.
Thank you everybody for joining. It's been a pleasure. We hope that it's been very informative. And of course, please go ahead and ask us any more questions if you have any to either the QNRF or you can obviously submit a ticket. And we're very prompt with replying to tickets. Or you can obviously email DIFI grants, which I will be manning, and be happy to answer any questions that you have.
So thank you very much for joining us on this webinar. I hope we answered your questions. I know there are many more questions, but as what my colleagues Sultan and Samir said, we're always happy to answer them through the tickets, email, questions and answers. And if you need any information about the grant, all the informations are available in Arabic and English on the website. So thank you very much. Thank you, Samir and Sultana.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks.
Bye.